How's it going, guys? My name is Baby Smooth, and I'm here to bring you the patch point 6.4, aka the December 10th patch notes for backpack battles. The first change is a big one. There's a new recipe in the neighborhood, and its name is the Cap of Discomfort. This thing is broken, and it's a great answer to the previous top 3 builds of last patch. Now, the Cap of Discomfort, it's going to do 3 big things for you. It's going to reduce enemy healing. It's going to reduce damage you're taking, and it's going to not allow enemies to build up their buffs. You can see the stats on your screen. This is a meta-defining item that answers some builds that previously went unquestioned. Next up, we've got the Blood Amulet. Now it's going to additionally give you 20 health at the start of battle. In combination with it being such an incredible late-game item that scales so well into so many builds, this is a great change, and it's going to make it a lot easier on you to spend that 9 gold in the early game. Next up, we've got the deck of cards. 1 card is offered instantly in its spot when you purchase it. This is leading to a lot of people actually playing cards in this game. It's crazy. I've even lost to some card builds. You love to see it. Next up, we've got the Poison Ivy with a huge buff, inflicting 2 poison per spike now. The poison threshold goes up from 13 to 19, and the poison, when reaching threshold, is set to 5. So, listen, this now makes Ranger the most broken thing in the universe. A lot of builds for Necromancer right now revolve around inflicting poison, whether you're looking at Hexblade or you're looking at Poison Bomb. And Ranger doesn't really care about that. They are reducing the poison that you're placing on them, and they are returning some of their own. This build is probably the strongest build in the game right now, and it's reliant on upgraded defense potions. Without the upgraded defense potion, it's pretty useless, but with it, you have a more potent poison bomb than Necromancer can even create. It's insanely broken, and it's the most powerful build in the game right now, in my opinion. Next up, Broom has removed the mana requirement. You're now going to see viable double Broom builds to create blind and stall the game, maybe with some goob, some sustain on Necromancer. That's going to be pretty viable here. Next, we have Box of Riches going down from 6 gold to 5 gold. This is a great change in my opinion. Buying Box of Riches single-handedly has lost me so many games just because I'm a greedy guy and I want to have a deeper run. Having those gems is really nice. When you're getting into those late game fights, it can make all the difference. Next, Tuspiercer gets 2 damage additional. This is also going to help a spiky build, but is this a huge change? Not really. The weapon's still not really going to be used too much, I don't think. It's an okay change. Next up, Ripsaw Blade's cooldown is going from 1.7 to 1.8 seconds. Ripsaw needs to be nerfed. Is this a big enough nerf to take it out of the game? Not really. I think the weapon's very good on its own, and the fact that you are taking away regen and spikes is incredible. It's still on top. Ripsaw gang. I hate you, but I'm one of you. If you can't beat him, join him. Buy a Ripsaw today. The Shovel is getting a big old nerf again for what, the 3rd patch in a row, I think? The Shovel's cooldown is going from 2.2 seconds to 2.4, and the stamina cost up from 1.5 to 1.7. This nerf hits hard. The Shovel is now almost unusable, but with the buff to the Broom, I wouldn't be surprised to see Shovel-Broom combo. I've played it a little bit myself. If you're planning on econing and making use of blind, the Shovel could be used, but you shouldn't. Don't use the Shovel anymore. It's pretty bad, but it makes you a lot of money. Next, we've got the Pan, the cooldown from 2.1 seconds to 2.2 seconds. The Pan is dominating the game for like, what, the 4th week in a row, but it's going crazy. The Pan will win you games single-handedly if you can just place some fruits and vegetables around it. It's crazy. The Pan is so strong still, even with this slight nerf. The Hammer, damage is getting increased by 1. Hammer is still not exactly a playable item in the early game. Obviously, you need some daggers around it. The Hammer's a weird item. You don't want to buff it too much or it'll be broken, and you don't want it to be too weak or it's too hard to build into. I don't know. I'm kind of happy not seeing a bunch of dagger builds, though, personally. It sucks to play against the dagger build, get stunned 3 times in a row, and that's the reason you lose. Next, we've got Leather Armor now resisting 3 debuffs. Personally, I find it a little bit hard to warrant buying Leather Armor, especially with a lot of spears running around these days. I don't know. Leather Armor for 7 cost, miss me with that. 7 cost and 6 space taken up. Blech. But if you find it on sale, it's great, I guess, when you can convert it into a vampire armor, one of the most powerful armors in the game for a lot of builds. Next, we've got the pineapple. Going from 8 gold to 7 gold might not seem like a big deal, but it kind of feels like it. In a game, honestly, I am much more lenient on buying pineapples now. I look at them, I think about them now, and I didn't do that previously. So that's a nice change. And finally, the lump of coal is getting its third consecutive buff since it entered the game. It is now going to block 6 things instead of 5 when it's placed on your armor. And that's all for the Backpack Battles patch notes. I'm Baby Smooth, and I'll catch you next time on the next patch.
Hey.